The King of BRENTFORDS Testament by Alfred H. The noble king of Brentford was old and very sick. He summoned his physicians to wait upon him quick. They stepped into their coaches and brought their best physic. They crammed their gracious master with potion and with pill. They drenched him and they bled him. They could not cure his ill. Go fetch, says he, my lawyer, I'd better make my will. The monarch's royal mandate the lawyer did obey. The thought of 6 and 8pence did make his heart full gay. What is't, says he, your majesty would wish of me today? The doctors have belabored me with potion and with pill. My hours of life are counted. O man of tape and quill, sit down and mend a pen or two. I want to make my will. O'er all the land of Brentford I'm lord, and eke of Q. I've 3% and 5%. My debts are but a few, and to inherit after me I have but children too. Prince Thomas is my eldest son. A sober prince is he, and from the day we breached him till now, he's 23, he never caused disquiet to his poor mamma or me. At school they never flogged him. At college, though not fast, yet his little go and great go he creditably passed, and made his year's allowance for 18 months to last. He never owed a shilling, went never drunk to bed. He has not 2 ideas within his honest head. In all respects he differs from my second son, Prince Ned. When Tom has half his income laid by at the year's end, poor Ned has ne'er a stiver that rightly he may spend, but sponges on a tradesman, or borrows from a friend. While Tom his legal studies most soberly pursues, poor Ned must pass his mornings dawdling with the muse. While Tom frequents his banker, young Ned frequents the Jews. Ned drives about in buggies, Tom sometimes takes a bus. Ah, cruel fate, why made you my children differ thus? Why make of Tom a dullard and Ned a genius? You'll cut him with a shilling, exclaimed the man of writs. I'll leave my wealth, said Brentford, Sir Lawyer, as befits, and portion both their fortunes unto their several wits. Your grace knows best, the lawyer said, on your commands I wait. Be silent, sir, says Brentford, a plague upon your prate, come take your pen and paper and write as I dictate. The will as Brentford spoke it was writ and signed and closed. He bade the lawyer leave him, and turned him round and dozed. And next week in the churchyard the good old king reposed. Tom, dressed in crape and hatband, of mourners was the chief. In bitter self-upbraidings poor Edward showed his grief. Tom hid his fat white countenance in his pocket handkerchief. Ned's eyes were full of weeping, he faltered in his walk. Tom never shed a tear, but onwards he did stalk, as pompous, black, and solemn as any catafalque. And when the bones of Brentford, that gentle king, and just with bell and book and candle were duly laid in dust, now, gentlemen, says Thomas, let business be discussed. When late our sire beloved was taken deadly ill, Sir Lawyer, you attended him. I mean to tax your bill, and, as you signed and wrote it, I prithee read the will. The lawyer wiped his spectacles, and drew the parchment out, and all the Brentford family sat eager round about. Poor Ned was somewhat anxious, but Tom had ne'er a doubt. My son, as I make ready to seek my last long home, some cares I have for Neddy, but none for thee, my Tom. Sobriety and order you ne'er departed from. Ned hath a brilliant genius, and thou a plodding brain. On thee I think with pleasure, on him with doubt and pain. You see, good Ned, says Thomas, what he thought about us twain. Though small was your allowance, you saved a little store, and those who save a little shall get a plenty more. As the lawyer read this compliment, Tom's eyes were running o'er. The tortoise and the hare, Tom, set out at each his pace. The hare it was the fleeter, the tortoise won the race, and since the world's beginning this ever was the case. Ned's genius, blithe and singing, steps gaily o'er the ground. As steadily you trudge it, he clears it with a bound. But dullness has stout legs, Tom, and wind that's wondrous sound. O'er fruit and flowers alike, Tom, you pass with plodding feet. You heed not one nor t'other, but onwards go your beat, while genius stops to loiter with all that he may meet. And ever as he wanders will have a pretext fine for sleeping in the morning, or loitering to dine, or dozing in the shade, or basking in the shine. Your little steady eyes, Tom, though not so bright as those that restless round about him his flashing genius throws, are excellently suited to look before your nose. Thank heaven, then, for the blinkers it placed before your eyes. The stupidest are strongest, the witty are not wise. Oh, bless your good stupidity, it is your dearest prize. And though my lands are wide, and plenty is my gold, still better gifts from nature, my Thomas, do you hold a brain that's thick and heavy, a heart that's dull and cold. Too dull to feel depression, too hard to heed distress, too cold to yield to passion or silly tenderness. March on, your road is open to wealth, Tom, and success. Ned sinneth in extravagance, and you in greedy lust. I faith, says Ned, our father is less polite than just. In you, son Tom, I've confidence, but Ned I cannot trust. Wherefore my lease and copy holds, my lands and tenements, my parks, my farms and orchards, my houses and my rents, my Dutch stock and my Spanish stock, my 5 and 3 per cents. I leave to you, my Thomas. What all? Poor Edward said, well, well, I should have spent them, and Tom's a prudent head. I leave to you, my Thomas, to you in trust for Ned. The wrath and consternation what poet e'er could trace that at this fatal passage came o'er Prince Tom his face. The wonder of the company, and honest Ned's amaze. "'Tis surely some mistake," good-naturedly cries Ned. The lawyer answered gravely, "'Tis even as I said. 'Twas thus his gracious majesty ordained on his deathbed. See, here the will is witnessed, and here's his autograph. In truth, our father's writing," says Edward with a laugh, "but thou shalt not be a loser, Tom, we'll share it half and half." Alas, my kind young gentleman, this sharing cannot be. 'Tis written in the testament that Brentford spoke to me, I do forbid Prince Ned to give Prince Tom a halfpenny. He hath a store of money, but ne'er was known to lend it. He never helped his brother, the poor he ne'er befriended. He hath no need of property who knows not how to spend it. Poor Edward knows but how to spend, and thrifty Tom to hoard. Let Thomas be the steward then, and Edward be the lord, and as the honest laborer is worthy his reward. I pray Prince Ned, my second son, and my successor dear, to pay to his intendant £500 a year, and to think of his old father, and live and make good cheer. Such was old Brentford's honest testament. He did devise his moneys for the best, and lies in Brentford church in peaceful rest. Prince Edward lived, and money made and spent, but his good sire was wrong, it is confessed, to say his son, young Thomas, never lent. He did. Young Thomas lent at interest, and nobly took his 25%. Long time the famous reign of Ned endured o'er Chiswick, Fulham, Brentford, Putney, Kew, but of extravagance he ne'er was cured. And when both died, as mortal men will do, 'twas commonly reported that the steward was very much the richer of the two.